I used to get a cane every day. I couldn't stop playing up after it was so strict, the nuns. I was always in trouble. Then I started nicking bikes.
Did you?
Taking bikes to pieces and selling the wheels, the handle. Whatever everyone ordered, I'd go out and get it. I thought we was flashing all mob or whatever. I don't know what it was. They didn't like Londoners. And you had to stand up. To get through in Borstal, you had to look hard yourself. You know what I mean? Couldn't let no one take liberties with you. No bed, nothing, stripped naked, left me there for 5 days, lifting me up, hit underneath my feet with this. When they come running in to bash you up, you try to get up. You couldn't stand on your feet. And they just bashed you to feet. I was only a kid, don't forget. There was 120 lifers in that prison with me. Every one of them had been sentenced to death. Reader is the #1 top criminal in the world. He's down with the best. He was the governor. He was the. I wouldn't have been on this bit of work without Brian. Brian asked me. I wouldn't have went for the other two. Brian was my mate. I drank him for 20 years. I knew he was the top. I was go. It can only be done at a certain time of the year. Say like when it's Easter, shut for certain days. Christmas, shut for certain days. 900 boxes there.
Yeah,
about 70. 3 or 4 of them was empty. Just say, for instance, you need 100 million liberties. I took 10 every pound all day long, and a lot of it was shit. It ain't all cream. For me to call someone across, it'd have to be 100% right. No, I'm trying to go straight. I don't need money. I didn't waste the time.
Evening everybody, so here we are. I'm interviewing Kenny Collins at the Palatial Cambridge Country Club. This is his first interview, so I'm really looking forward to this. Kenny, how are you, mate?
I'm all right, Kev.
Lovely. Would you like a drink?
Yes.
So
That was a silly question.
that's a silly question. So just quickly, this is my home brew. It's cheeky chappies hooch, cheeky ladies. This is my home brew. It's been well covered by Max Fosh on the YouTube channel. This is a cherry brandy one made from cherry brandy juice. There are a number of varieties. It will be going into production soon for all those who want to purchase it. And you won't be looking back. In the meantime, we're not here to talk about my hooch, but we're here to taste it. Let's have a little taste. Good health, Kenny.
Yeah, good help.
Good health, good wealth, good fortune.
Good luck.
Good luck, everybody. Oh, delicious. So, we'd like to start off quickly with Kenny. He's got a full life story, a colourful story, and it started from when he was a child. Kenny was born during the war era, was that correct, Kenny?
1940, yeah.
1940, and he was born, obviously,
During the Blitz.
During the Blitz. You take the floor, Ken.
No, I was born during the Blitz. The worst year, 1940 was the worst year. London got bombed to pieces, you know what I mean? That was it. So, the first 5 years, the war was on during my life. I mean, no dad. Dad was in the army. And I was brought up to play in bomb sites.
Yeah, bomb site, buildings with no roofs.
Oh, I used to think Hitler, because most people when they're born, they say that their first child ever sees mama or papa. They told me my first 2 words was Adolf Hitler. That's all I ever heard on the radio or whatever, you know what I mean? On the radio there was no telly, obviously.
I mean, I laugh about it, it's ironic, isn't it?
I know, but I used to think Hitler was trying to kill us. He bombed the house, 25 yards away, he bombed the house, and the factory 25 yards behind me.
Blimey.
But so I was...
You've always been lucky.
Oh, yeah, I've been lucky with it, yeah, lucky that way, yeah. Hit that one way or the other.
So with the being born in the war area, era, you had a lot of buildings with no roofs on, and I would say you was pretty.
Well, we used to break into them because they was empty. It was bombed, so it wasn't much different to breaking into one that was empty to one that was still open, if you know what I mean.
Full of goods.
But don't forget, we're only kids, 6, 7, 8. This was after the war. There was still bomb sites was there for 10, 15 years after the war. Do you know what I mean? And we played that way, and then the next thing you know, I was going through the ones that wasn't empty.
And what would you say was your first real crime, apart from working as an altar boy in church?
Well, that was a crime, working as an altar boy.
Well, no, the crime came about because you was obviously hungry. You was during war, and you was in the collection pot.
Yes, they nicked them up, newspaper money. I come in. My old man used to make sure I went to church every Sunday, and he said, mate, to make sure I done it, I had to buy a newspaper, church paper. I was to go in, put the money down, buy it, and after a couple of weeks I thought, there's always about 8 bob, so I started taking the money, didn't I?
8 bob, people would
That
be
was the first year I was about 8, I don't know.
What would you say it was in today's terms, 8 bob?
What?
What would you say it was in monetary terms?
Oh, nothing, about
Couple of quid?
no, not even that. 6 shillings, 7 shillings, but that was money. In them days, that was money, you know what I mean? Because sweets was on rationing. You couldn't get sweets. Rationing with sugar, and that's about 1953. So that was the first, I think, that's the first I remember. So that's about the first.
So Kenny was an altar boy, and he took from the collection pot.
Not the collection, but it was newspaper.
Newspaper.
Money, outside, not out of the collection.
Oh, sorry.
No, it was newspaper money. That started it.
So that was your first, not bit of work.
Yeah, so yeah, I was about 7 or 8, I don't know.
And then from there, where did you go from that?
Then I went to primary school, which I was brought up by nuns, till I was 11.
How was that?
It was all right. It was good. It was very good education. My mum took me out to previous primary schools because they weren't no good. That was good. That was a good school. But the only trouble was it's Catholic, obviously nuns, and it drive you're mad with the religion, learning prayers and things like that. So when I was left, I went to Ireland so that I never took my 11 plus. If I'd have passed me 11 plus, I'd have gone to another Catholic school further down the road. I didn't want that. I wanted to go to school in Tottenham. But that happens. What happened when I come back? They opened a brand new school in Tottenham in 1952. In 1952, yeah. They met so I went to that school whenever. I didn't have to go to the right religious one, you know. I went to it was a Catholic school, but it weren't that religious, you know what I mean?
So no beatings there, no.
Oh, I used to get a cane every day. I couldn't stop playing up after. It was so strict, the nuns. This was so easy going. I was cheeky. I was always in trouble. I loved it, didn't I? No, and
you can't change a person's character. When they try to, but it's in you, isn't it? And you know that, obviously.
Then I started nicking bikes.
Did you?
Taking bikes to pieces and selling the wheels, the handle. Whatever everyone ordered, I'd go out and get it. Yeah, wheels, brakes, handbrakes, whole bikes, whatever.
Yeah. Would you say it's more of a course of necessity? You need to earn, you need to get money. It's a time of the era at the time.
Well, there wasn't no money about it in them days.
Yeah.
That was money. Yeah, it was in me obviously because I think my first conviction I was 11 years of age. I remember when they caught, they said his criminal record number goes back to 1951. So I got done in 51. I think breaking into a shop or something, I can't remember.
I don't think people understand why people commit crime or they have committed crime. Sometimes it is out of need. It's not out of greed.
Well, I wouldn't say it was out of need. I lived in the street, the house across the road, my mates. There was 10 in that family. Now, they must have needed, there was only 2 in my family. So it wasn't out of need. They needed a lot more than me. They never went thieving, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but in the same breath, you're coming around, there was not so much food. It's all about making your life better at the time.
Well, I just loved money. I suppose I fell in love with money at an early age.
Yeah.
I just loved getting money.
So your parents...
I've done all my life.
And your parents worked?
They both worked, said straight as a dime, my old man never had a day at work, said to take me to court. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's big Irishman, Big Paddy. He worked all his life. Leavises was a big firm in Tottenham in them days. He worked there like after the war. Eh?
What were Leavises?
There was the biggest furniture factory in Europe.
Okay.
It went skin. That went skin.
Okay. Your mum?
My mum done other little jobs like she worked in sweet factories.
Were sweets just about coming into this?
No, they still made sweets in them days, but they was, I don't know. She worked in a sweet factory. I can't remember. I can't remember much. She worked in 4 or 5 different jobs. You know what I mean?
The reason I say that is because when the Americans came to England, they brought their chocolate and their stockings and stuff like that, didn't they? So they brought certain types of chocolate that we never had here. Now we get a lot of chocolate from America, but people don't realise where it originated from.
Well, I don't remember that. No, we had our own Cadbury's. We had Cadbury's fries. We had our English chocolate. We didn't have a lot of them American bars. We had Hershey bars, and you never see them in England. You know what I mean? It was mostly English stuff we had over here.
I wouldn't know what an Hershey bar is.
It's an American bar.
Okay.
But we never had it over here. We had our own chocolate. You know what I mean? Milk chocolate. I mean, a lot of people don't class milk chocolate as chocolate.
So, from the age of going to school, where would you say you went straight out on the pavement? Ducking and diving?
I left school at 15, get about £3 a week then, fucking learning it a bit. Learning it a bit.
You was carrying wood, I believe.
No, that was a year later. I was getting £3-4 a day humping wood out of the bar. Now, hit the big top money. That was big money. 1956, I was getting £20 a week. You know what I mean? And in your hand, no tax, no insurance.
Explain what that was you was doing.
Humping wood out of bars. You're carrying all the timber out of bar. A lot of the timber come down the canals in them days, and all the timber yards used to hire us. We contract out, do 6 weeks here, to 4 weeks, whatever amount of barges they had, they'd take us on for. It wasn't 12 months in a year work. You'd have to go to 6 different firms to work 12 years. That got me good money. I've done that for a couple of years.
Built you up.
Then that dried up, and then no good going back to work. I couldn't get the money, so I went out at it. I think we went out breaking into a shop, everything started thieving then.
Then it always starts from something a little bit smaller to a little bit bigger, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, you learn and go up, gradually go up, creep up, and in them days, I got done for sus. I went to Borstal, they stopped it. They made it illegal, it was illegal. Coppers stopped us, stopped me, about 3 others, one night, about 1 o'clock coming home from some club. I said we was acting suspicious.
Oh, that's what
you could get, that was a charge. Sus. I got Borstal, the others got prison. They went to prison for 3 months, I went to Borstal for over 2 years. That was it. And they'd done away with that charge.
May I just ask you, Kelly, like we both know about the punishments in the penal system many years ago. Yeah. And for the viewers, they will have no idea of what people have gone through in this country. Maybe why we got such a hard backbone. But back in the days, you'd have bread and water for 3 days, 3 days off, is that correct?
Oh, bread and water, yeah. In Borstal, when I went to Borstal, I ended up, they called me a Borstal failure. There was another Borstal called Reading, where if the Borstal couldn't handle you, it sent you to Reading. It was a punishment centre. You got 3 months there, and then they sent you back to another Borstal. But I got sent back twice, and it was really, they was killing them in there, killing the kids. On my life, they shut it because of too many deaths. But that was a couple of years after I'd done it. But it was Borstal. Borstal was all right, but that place was wicked. That was wicked. That was evil.
He was in there, wasn't he? The poet, Oscar Wilde.
Oh, that was years before. That was when it was a prison. This was a Borstal now. No speaking, no talking, no wages. Everything at a double. Marching around like arms up.
Press ups in the yard in the morning.
Oh, all that punishment. Yeah. You all had to do that. Everyone had to do it.
Yeah.
Circuit training.
Yeah, that's right.
Start off on red and you end up on black. You know that. It's harder and harder, doesn't it? And all that. Yeah, oh yeah. But don't forget, you're all fit.
Yeah.
You're all 20, 18, 20-year-old kids, so you're fit as a Bible.
What people don't understand is, you're going into these places and you're met with violence.
Oh,
It's
you have
not
to stand
sense
up for
enough.
yourself, yeah.
Stand up for yourself. You met with brutality from the other side, but it's all part of the course then. It's different, like it was accepted then, although it was undercover.
Well, I went away at 17, say, 18, Borstal, and I met Geordies for the first time in my life.
King
Scouses.
George's men.
Didn't know what they were. I'd never heard of them before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they all hated Londoners. They all thought we was flashing all mob or whatever. I don't know what it was. They didn't like Londoners. And you had to stand up. To get through in Borstal, you had to look hard yourself. You know what I mean? You had to...
Tough old game then, wasn't
Well, yeah. Couldn't let no one take liberties with you. Otherwise they would, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kids are the worst bullies in the
it?
world.
They don't realise what they're doing.
Well, I don't know whether they do or not.
Some do.
There's some right bullies.
Depends on the age group, doesn't it? You know?
Yeah.
But then, obviously, the Birch.
That was in prison. When I went to prison, that was different. In 19, I come out of Borstal, I was only out 6 months, so I got fucking ended up in prison again. When I went to prison, you could be given the birch. This is all legal. The birch, cat, you know, Fraser had it.
Yeah. Frankie Fraser.
28 days bread and water, which free on, free off. Took
Yeah.
your agent to do down the Chelsea block.
So just for the viewers, bread and water was, you was only on it for 3 days. Bread and water for 3 days, but they can only do it for 3 days on and 3 days off. The times of when you went to prison years ago, you lost weight. Now they go in there and they come out great big couch potatoes, a lot of people, because they're feeling you a stodge. You can lay in bed all day if you wish. So I believe the regime needs to change strictly. But back in the day when Kenny went to prison, you're in there to survive. You're in there to survive the brutality. You're in to survive the beatings. So you would get birch. Now Kenny's had the birch.
Oh, I had the birch.
No, over your feet, Kenny, the bottom of your feet. Remember when I used to...
Oh, no, that was when I got transferred out. I was a YP. I started off as a YP. I'd done a screw, and they slung me in the cellars. Used was the other day when that person who used to be the assistant governor of Scrubs.
Yeah.
Remember he told you about the dungeons? I said, no one knows there's dungeons downstairs.
Yeah.
He knew.
Yeah, he did.
Because he was a governor in there's dungeons below the ground floor.
Yeah.
The writings on the wall was 1800s and, you know, so no bed, nothing, stripped naked, left me there for 5 days, lifted me up, it underneath my feet with this.
And why did they do that, Kenny? Explain
So you
to
can't
me.
stand. You
Stand up.
cannot stand up.
To retaliate.
When they come running in to bash you up, you try to get up. You couldn't stand on your feet. And they just bashed you to feet. I was only a kid, don't forget. Well, I was about 20. But,
Yeah, but still, you're still a young man.
yeah, but they come in 6 hands, smash it to pieces. And in them days, the governor never dealt with you. You went for a visiting committee. So they leave you down there for 5 days for the bruises to disappear. When you go up, the excuse they use is no further force than was necessary. We used no further force. Well, that means anything. Could be necessary to kill you, couldn't it?
Yeah.
It smashed me on every doorway. You know the doors, bang, bang.
Well,
That was evil.
You regularly got thrown down the stairs in those days, didn't you?
Yeah, oh, down the metal stairs, yeah.
Frankie Fraser was one of the biggest fighters in the system for rebellion. You've said...
Fraser?
Yeah.
Oh,
You've said in many conversations we've had that he took the fight to the system.
oh he made prison easier. What it is today is down to Fraser.
Yeah, we
Because
got
he used to get terrible hidings and he'd do it again and again and again. In the end, they were scared of him. Cover himself in shit. And run at them and grab hold of them, you know. They did pushing him up not to get the shit. Oh, Fraser in the nick. Fraser's the only villain I know. There was a villain in the nick. I've seen a load of other villains go in. They're all a bit sensible. They want to get out as quick as possible. So they behave themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fraser done every day.
And the reason I mention that is a lot of people don't understand why the penal system changed. And Kenny's always said to me that Frankie Fraser took the fight to the penal system and he rebelled and fought, spent so many months or years in the blocks, with beatings as well. And it's not about, I don't want to make this a crime podcast, but you understand that Kenny's had a very colourful life and he's been through some very difficult times. As a young man, a young boy from Borstals, is it nurture and nature in that he's become a thief, a ducker and a diver, because of the times he was born, going into buildings with no roofs? getting a taste for money. You look at the docks, of course. The dockmen thieves? Well, of course they were. Back of the lorry, that's where it all came from. So the reason why this interview is taking place is to get an understanding of the man sitting in front of you, and many other men like Kenny of that era and age. It's not a case of that they are, as soon as they're born, they think they're going to go out and steal something. It's about what society's offered to them and what they fell into. So Kenny, further to that, let's talk about how you got into the buying and selling.
Well, that was a few years later. When I went to prison, I'd done 4 years in the scrubs, right? And when I went there, them days, a five was considered a long sentence. Just shows how it's changed.
The lifers were getting 8 to 12 years. Massive sentence, wasn't it?
When I went in there, in the wing, I went to D wing, it was a long-term wing. There was 120 lifers in that prison with me. Every one of them had been sentenced to death. Everyone had been sentenced to death and reprieved. For some reason, between late 50s and early 60s, they stopped hanging people in England. They stopped it.
And no reason why.
No, I just over that case, Ratty case. Yeah, over that case.
Young boy, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then they started it again. No, they started it done in Ratty about 61. They brought back hanging, hung Ratty and 2 kids from Manchester, and then it stopped for good. You know what I mean? But them lifers I was with, I must admit, they was all domestic lifers.
Okay.
They wasn't armed robbers or someone killed their wife or killed the kids who was with their wife. Something. They was lifers, but not all domestic.
Not murder a pound.
No, yeah. They all done about 13 years and they was out in them days.
So yeah, it used to be between 8 and 12 years for a life sentence. And lifers at that time were the least likely people to re-offend. And I ask this question is, why do people need to send us to 30 and 40 years of a young man to realise they don't want to go back? What are you releasing into society when you've done 30 or 40 years? You're releasing the cabbage. Depending if he gets in at 30, he serves at 40, or 30, he's getting released at 60. He missed a big chunk of his life. Some people may feel that's correct. However, Norway and many other European countries don't agree, and they seem to have a lot less likely people to re-offend, and a better system than what we have for rehabilitation. And I think that's what we need to look at, but that's another conversation for another day. Kenny, during that time as when you was doing ducking in your diving, shall we say, I just want to talk to you about some of the stuff you've done. So you've had booze, a distillery in France.
Yeah, I bought that was a failure. I bought that. I lost a lot of money there. I lost all the money.
I laugh at
Never
that.
come off. Yeah.
But you've had a go at straight businesses.
Every time I tried to go straight, I done my money. I didn't waste the time. Everything.
Yeah. But he's done the fags. Kenny has.
I had more money in that fags than I ever have anything in my life.
There we go,
I
folks.
was smuggling cigarettes.
Yeah. Smoking cigarettes that were straight. Booze.
Yeah, that was smuggled. It wasn't stolen. The VAT, it's the VAT, isn't it? It's ridiculous money.
So you're purchasing them off of a lorry load of tobacco, and you're not paying the vodka, as some people say, but it's the VAT. So it's smuggled in, you're not paying the VAT, and you're selling them. Great earner. I know through years ago, we're talking a good few years ago, Kenny, 30 years ago now, 50 grand a week.
I don't know. It was like with the snout. Could be 100 grand a night, 100 grand in one day.
Yeah, in the term.
But it'd only be 4 fucking loads of them a year, if you know what I mean. Yeah. There'd be a lot of 25 granders and 10 granders and things like that. Okay. So you start off with, like you said, stuff falling off the back of the van, start buying it, end up taking the van, the lorry, and once you get, everyone thinks you got money, they come to you end up being the buyer. I buy anything, I'll buy anything. Yeah. Money's right, I buy it. Yeah. No problem. Yeah, that's right. And pay good money for it. Yeah,
but when we went out a few times, me and Kenny, he's turned up, he's got a bit of clobber on. I said, nice bit of clobber that, Kenny. So he's giving me a pair of crocodile shoes, 3 grand. Happy days. I wear them all the time. So actually, I'll give them to my best mate now, Marcus. He loves them. He wants to frame them, but they're a few years old, Kenny, them, aren't they?
20, 30 years old. They're all oysters, all company oysters. Oysters.
Do you remember that?
So this is the police come take it off me. That's 20, 30 years old, oysters.
Do you remember that jacket I had on was £10,000?
Leather coat, that's a leather coat.
Leather
That's
coat.
a zilly, yeah.
A zilly?
Yeah.
£10,000 for that coat. And how many years ago would you say that was?
15 years ago, 20.
No, it's more than that.
Is it?
Yeah, because obviously, well, maybe 15 years.
15
Yeah.
to 20, so
Yeah.
they're nearly all, I've been away since 10 years, say, I've been, since that happened, except for 2015, yeah, long before that, yeah.
So, moving away from the crime area for a little bit, Kenny's got a real colourful past, as I've said a little while earlier. So, Kenny's looked after Frank Sinatra, his brother looked after, what was the band that
The
he...
brother was killed looking at her.
The
Deep Purple, was it?
Deep Purple.
Is it Deep Purple?
It was
Deep
the metal
Purple.
band, wasn't
They
it?
was killed out in Jakarta. They got robbed for 400 grand off. I never know the story. The actual group, Deep Purple, said, it's on them Google things, it was the 1975 Australasia tour. They said they was arrested for his murder. You know, I don't know whether it's true or not. All I know is he went down a lift shaft.
Down the lift shaft, wasn't
Went
it?
down a lift shaft. Climbed out the bottom, but Jakarta, you can imagine it. He was dead by the time he got him to hospital. But they said there was. I don't know. I never know the truth.
You've always been in search of the truth, haven't you?
Well, I took it as what they told me. But years later, now I told the family that. Years later, because of the Google everything now, they said it says our dad was murdered. I told
Yeah.
us. I said, what? Oh, they're telling me.
Yeah.
And on it, Deep Purple said that they was arrested. No one was done for his murder. No one was done for it anyway. I know that. But with the groups, you don't know whether they're just doing it to get the names of. But they didn't have to. They was a big time group. They didn't need headlines like that. You know what I
And
mean?
how old was you then?
How old was he?
You and your brother.
He was 31. I'd have been about 34.
Yeah,
He was 31. I thought maybe drunk and driving or something like that. I didn't dream that. I got in the job. I put him in with all of them, the Rolling Stones, all that mob. He knows them. Years ago, they went travelling all around the world with
He's
them.
talking about Mickey Brett over there. Mickey
Yeah,
Brett's
no.
looked after Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, Billy Bob Thornton, Julie Andrews, Tom Cruise.
He knows he
That's
gives
what he
away.
does. He does all that stuff like poke you in the throat and you're lying on the floor. All right. Although, what's it called, Mickey? What's that called, that stuff you do? Cosmocar. Sounds like a bird's name, doesn't it? You wouldn't want to get in bed with. So, Kenny's looked after Frank Sinatra, have you not?
There's only one night.
Yeah, but you still looked after him.
Yeah.
He's
I
looked
still brag
after him,
about
has he
it.
not, Mick?
I still brag about it. Yeah. The Beatles, when they first came out.
The Beatles,
they had
there
the
we go.
White Rolls Royce.
Did-
That was
I remember
early
that.
days. Hey?
The White Rolls Royce.
Yeah, well, my mate, Donny was the driver. He was their driver. Wouldn't let me drive.
Yeah, well, you smashed them all up, didn't you? You're like, the one, I don't know how you're still alive today after the accidents you've had.
I've had a few, yeah. I've
Had a
had a few
few.
cars.
Yeah, so not quite what people would have thought in the man sitting in front of you now. Loves his sport, very charitable, donates to people. The amount of people that owe him money, he's taught me so much in my life, Kenny.
Oh,
That's
don't mention.
so much. What I've learned from Kenny, as a friend, as someone I say I admire, I look up to Kenny because of his morals, and he's taught me so much in the way I used to behave and how I think now, and I still learn from him every day. But Kenny will tell you some
Still
stories.
teaching him to polish his shoes.
I polish my shoes, you see. So, very well dressed man. In today, as in
Oh, it's just like,
in his day, I was going to say.
no. Years ago, everyone wore suits, and it's not like today. No one wears a suit. If I had a lorry load of suits, I'd never sell them. I should get a lorry load of suits, I'd sell them in a week.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I'd have them for a year. No one wears a suit. No one wears. People pay 200 quid for 300 quid for a pair of trainers.
Yeah.
They wouldn't pay that for.
Well,
I'll pay it for shoes, but not trainers. You wouldn't get me paid 300 quid for a pair
I've got
of trainers.
Hermes on, and they were very expensive. So was Prada and such. You know, you pay. I got trainers on with a pair of trousers and a shirt. I did have a jacket as well. But we are during a major heat wave in this country. Kenny said to me, "I wouldn't have fucking worn this if you weren't wearing a suit, because I always wear suits." But you know, so let's talk about the suits and where you used to get them made.
When I first got my suits made when I worked in the timber in 1956. I used to go down to Woods's, who made the twins suits.
Twins, you're talking about the Quay twins.
I used to try Reggie's. Them days they was about the same weight as me. I was only 16. I suppose I was 11 to 12 stone, 11 and 11 and a half. They was welterweights when they boxed. So their suits, they both the same then, they looked the same. Reggie and Ronnie looked. Ronnie hadn't got fat and didn't wear glasses. I used to try their suits fitted me perfectly.
You got that? You used to try their suits on.
In the tailors, when I go there, have a couple of suits taken up, they always had suits taken up in there. And I used to go in and I'd try theirs on, make sure they wouldn't about and go through the door, try them on. And then I had suits made from the age of 16 on until later in the, when all these expensive, in them days, suits was only made in two sizes, 34, 36, 38, 40, you know. Unless you was the right build, it didn't fit you, you know what I mean? So I had suits made all my life. Up to about, I was 40, 1980, what was I, 40? 40?
I've got some of the suits, haven't I?
Yeah, but I didn't have them made. They're oystered suits.
But I have to edit that.
Yeah,
They're a few years old, though.
You've given them away, you've given them away.
I've given them away, they were gifts. Mind you, those suits were many years ago. And the reason why I've kept them, because they're Kenny's and I'm going to have them tailored and I'm going to wear them. But they're like brand new suits. And they're quality gear, so I want them.
See this suit here? I put this on last week. I wore it, but I didn't know. I wore it. I didn't know it was the first. All the pockets, you know. It's all. I didn't even know. I never wore it.
So, just so you know, when Kenny came home, I picked him up for we'll talk about the Hatton Garden burglary in a little while. When Kenny came home for that, we went and got some suits. And he says, "I have 2 pairs of trousers, please." 2 pairs of trousers? I said, "What for?" He said, "I'm going to put a bit of weight on." And he did. And then the other person, "I don't think me no more." That's about right, isn't it?
Yeah, I had all the trousers taken in, and about a year later, it was too small for me.
Nothing fitted, yeah. I thought, boy, that was
Don't knock that over.
No, don't. So there we go, fitted up and fighting back.
Can I put my book up there?
Well, so I'll be doing a book about Kenny. And, well, he don't know yet. But I've got a lot of interviews with Kenny on tape. Over a good few years now, haven't we?
I don't know. I didn't know you was taking some of them. I didn't know that you had that.
Some of them, he said. But I would never, you know, when you've been in conversation when we've been out, you know, if things are flowing and you have nothing that couldn't go on there anyway. It's nothing about that. It's about seeing the real man himself in good conversation, flow, charismatic, friendly, humour, very funny. That's what I take. So nothing about him being doing stuff he shouldn't be doing at all. And I'll say that, okay? So let's move on a little bit, Ken, to your sport. You love your sport, don't you?
Well, I love football and boxing, mostly. They're the 2 main sports. Obviously, I've been watching tennis all week. Wimbledon, I don't mind tennis. But the rest of the year, I don't watch tennis at all. So,
But you'll watch the athletes during the athlete season.
Well, yeah, I like
You
that.
do.
Yeah.
You'll be sitting there, you'll be, and this is on, that's on. So you go with the seasons, don't you?
Well, I go with whatever on the telly.
I mean, many times you go, oh look, this is on, I'm going to be watching that. You like to watch these games and that games.
Oh, and football. That's football. That's mostly football. Yeah.
And the boxing.
And the boxing, yeah, but that's not on so often, is it?
No.
Nowadays.
He's 85, so I'm training a boxer at the minute called Archie Millis. We're going to Millis, Wickham, if you wish. 6'5", cruiserweight. Ken's 85, and Ken's going to be coming down. Bit of support, bit of knowledge. Been around, he's seen enough fighters in all his day. You'd be a fool not to listen to people, and I say that respectively. Someone's always got something to say, and sometimes it is very knowledgeable. 85 years he's been on this planet, and he loves boxing. So he's going to come down and he's going to support Archie.
I hope he's like Archie Moore. It turns out Archie Moore would be great.
I don't know who Archie Moore was, Ken.
Archie Moore, greatest light heavyweight that ever lived. In them days, he used to fight heavyweight. In between, he'd fight heavyweights. He's got the best knockout record of any professional boxer. I can't remember what it is.
So what did you say? You just said in them days you'd fight someone else of a different weight.
He was a light heavyweight world champion, and when he wasn't fighting the heavyweight world champions, he'd fight a 10-round heavyweight and beat the heavyweights.
Was he?
That's how good Archie Moore could punch. Wasn't Ali beat him? But he was about 54 when he fought Ali. You know what I mean?
When you say in between, you mean in between bouts, like in between, like not the same
In
day.
between world, they didn't get the money they get today. Obviously, they used to fight 4 or 5 times a year. You know, the champions they used to fight. They don't now. Once a year, you don't.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You know what I mean? It's different money. Don't get me wrong. Different. But in them days, he'd fight a world title, and then in between, he'd fight an heavyweight. That's Archie Moore. I'm not talking about normal light heavyweights. Be honest with you, I can't even remember if you had cruiserweights in them days.
No, I don't think you did.
I'm not.
No.
I remember
Yeah,
light
like three
heavyweights.
brackets, didn't you? Yeah.
But cruiserweights come along a bit later. But Archie Moore, I'm only saying Archie because you said his name's Archie, but
Well, his granddad had 200 fights.
Professional?
No, back in the day. But let's have this right, okay? It's false. When you've spoke to him, you've had a good conversation about boxing, haven't you?
Well, I spoke to him.
And Kenny and Archie had a little drink. Archie was fighting in the London Nationals. Anyway, we met afterwards, and his granddad Archie's the same age as Kenny, 85. We ought to call him one for the road. We'll have one for the road, one for the road. I would call him last man standing. He don't want to go home. And he's the same. Loves a drink.
No, but that was an old saying, one for the road, have a quick laugh. Next day you're still out. There was olden days.
There was something I was just about going to ask you then about the boxers. So what they don't realise in this country is, I think it's about 45, almost 50 years ago, there in those brackets, we had 40,000 professional boxers in this country. We've got about 2,000 professional boxers now. Get out there, get in them gyms, and start showing people what this country was based on. Good, strong foundation, structure, discipline. Get in there and train, stay off the drink and the drugs, put your efforts into the ring. The days where you'll be a Southern Area title like Pat McCann, you'd have had 60 odd fights as a pro before you got to the Southern Area title. And there's many other boxers of that ilk, I must have to say that. But today, and this is no disrespect to the boxers of today, because they all train very hard, down booth boxing of Mersham, love booth boxing under Paul Foster and Sean Sharman, and they open it to the public as well. Anybody can get down and do their fitness classes. However, the boxers of today, they're very grateful for the Asian market, the market where you can go to fight in India or Dubai or some of the other countries, and they're paying you a fortune to fight. Thank God for that, because those lads, what they put into this business, it is a business, they don't get paid what they deserve, and I'm really pleased with that.
They do now, don't they? They get money now. Now the Arabs are involved.
No, the Arabs.
But you're right, years ago, a southern area would fill up a local hall. A southern area.
Local.
Local would fill up.
He's packed to the rafters in the balcony.
It meant something then days, you know. Southern area champion and Midlands and whatever, you know. But nowadays they've got these funny titles, international. Don't mean I don't know what it fucking means. It don't mean well, it means they're getting ready to have an international world title fight, but they just make up.
Ken, I don't follow it like they do now. So if someone says to me, oh, this person, that person, I go, well, I know Harlem Eubank, I know Ben, I know Eubank, I know this, I know that from the old area. I know a few boxers today like Mick Conlon, Josh Kelly, Shannon Courtney, Jermaine, all the boxers down Booth Boxing I know, of course I do, because I train down there. However, I couldn't tell you who's who nowadays. And there's not that many boxing around. Why is that? Is it because...
No, you'd tell me. I would have told you when I was younger, there was only eight different boxing divisions, right? I would have known every world champ. I would have told you every world champ years ago, every world champ. No, but now there's more different weights, all them in between weights.
Yeah.
And there's 3 different champions, 3 different types of world champions. There's too many champions now. I can't remember their names.
But I've got to say, it's reported that you've got the hardest head and the biggest heart in England.
Got the hardest what?
Head.
Well,
You have. So I will definitely vouch for the biggest heart.
it's been hit a lot. It's took some stick. Yeah.
I'm not going to, I have to be respectful with the family as well, the person I'm going to mention in a minute, but Kenny's got a massive heart, and I say not just about standing your ground, it's kind, he's the first to pull up, that I know.
No, let me say, it's a bit, you've not always got, you're skint when you're young, you ain't got no money or nothing. It's a bit easy to be good-hearted when you're getting the money. It ain't hard, unless you're
If it's in your heart, Ken, it's in your heart.
I'll get out. Yeah, because I've seen how I used to pay people's rent years ago. That ain't a lot of money, it might have been 80 quid. That sort of money I would always do, you know what I mean? If I had it. But I've done it, say, once for someone for about 200 times, and one day I just didn't have it. He called me a terror. What the stick he gave me? I thought, I'll give it to you. I couldn't believe how he turned on me because I fucking didn't have it this once.
Yeah, but you still have got the artist. So Bill the Bomb's a well-known figure, and we're not going to get into the particulars of this, but Ken's had a tear up with Bill the Bomb. Bill the Bomb was a face, mate. And who did Bill the Bomb fight, Ken?
Well,
and spar with?
He could fucking punch. He used to call Bill the Bomb because he could punch.
Yeah.
He had about 13 professional fights. I think he won them all. They took him out to America, got him, what's his name's trainer?
Ali.
Mohammed Ali's trainer.
Yeah.
I don't know what went wrong with Bill out there. I didn't know. And then, anyway, he ended up on the drugs. He ended up sparring with the geezer who beat Ali and was world champion for 7 years. What was his name?
You're asking the wrong person here. You're the man for that. You're not.
The one who beat Ali and he was world champion for 7 years. He used to train with, spar with him.
Right.
Anyway, he come back over here. I ended up. He was with. I was out. Boxing was out boxing, dude. Afterwards, he went to West End with the Richardsons. He was with the Richardsons, and he was with them. Me and him ended up having the worst fight I've ever had. Anyway, smashed the place to pieces. He ended up pulling me off of him. I couldn't believe this. He had a chair up like that, keeping me up, and I'm trying to get in because he's giving me some fucking sticks.
They give you some punches.
I was fighting over in my life. Don't want to fight no one like that again. And I think he just didn't want to do it. He didn't want, not also, you know, he just, we was all supposed to be friends, you know what I mean? They pulled me up, but that was a
Jim would give in, yeah, but no,
I would never have stopped. He'd have killed me.
that's the difference. So this is no disrespectful to Bill the Bomb or his family, because I've met his family. But
No
what we're
disrespect to
saying, yeah, all disrespect to him. That's Kenny was saying there. Rightfully respectful to this day. He said he gave him a lot of hard shots, but Kenny was a ferocious character in his day in terms of he would never give in. That's the red area in him, as you can see.
Didn't have no brains then. Same as now. Anyone with a brain.
So that's why they say he's got the hardest head and the biggest heart in England. He fought Bill the Bomb, for God's sake. And Bill, God rest his soul now,
Yeah.
He could have it, mate. He's no fault.
Oh, and I'll see him later on in prison. I bumped into him later on in prison. It was, I don't know what it was. I think it was on remand maybe. I can't remember. I looked at him. And I thought, how did I? Because although Bill's got a bit of some people say Bill the Bomb was a bully. It didn't say that. It's got nothing to do with what happened. I hit him. He didn't hit me. You understand? I started it. I looked at him. And we were having a wash in the sink. I looked at him. You can see. He's a fucking professional fucking. You know, you look at the nose, the eyeball. How did I fucking get me? He's got a scar on his face. That's the reason I thought. I think the scar give me a bit of. I thought someone's cut him. But I thought, how did I pick on him? You know what I mean? It wasn't Bill's fault. Well, it was. I lent him a Rolls Royce. I was driving a Rolls Royce. I lent him in to go out. He said, can I borrow it? He went out. Missed him for 2 or 3 hours in it, you know what I mean? And I said, what do you fucking think? That's what it was over.
So there we go. He lent Bill the Bomb his Rolls Royce. Bill went on a jolly with it and everything.
It wasn't my Rolls. That was what was worse. I borrowed the Rolls Royce in the fucking first place. So it wasn't my Rolls Royce. I mean, what's happening with the roller?
But you look back in the day, of course, Bill, you can't just take he was a world-class boxer. He could have been a world champion, to say about Bill.
Bill, I'll tell you what was the matter with Bill as far as boxing. He was the last in the wrong size. He was about 14 stone heavyweight. You know, he wouldn't.
Okay.
They all become 6'6". They're all giants.
Yeah.
You know, not like Joe Louis and Henry Cooper. They're different size. Bill wasn't big enough for the modern day boxers, you know what I mean?
It's Bill the Bomb, though.
Oh, he can hit, he can punch. He should have dropped down a weight or something. But
At the heart of the line, and the reason I say that is I know about a few stories about Bill in the boob, in the prison, and I tip me out to Bill. So, Ken, let's move on to something. Hatton Garden.
where's that?
I just want to get a few things straight here. What the public don't know is that they make a few accusations or comments in relation to how come this investigation went the way it did go. What people don't realise is that they've got a massive network of informers who supply information, and then they have to lay the path in relation to how come they came on to the Hatton Garden burglary. I know how they came onto it, others don't, but what they tried to do is come out of a load of old malarkey, for a better choice of words. So Kenny has to drive past the Hatton Garden for where he lives every day and around it. That's something I want out of there in the public today. Also, the car that Kenny drove at that time, where was that car registered, Kenny?
It's registered to someone in Wales. Fat Jack.
Not to John Kenneth Collins.
Oh, nothing was ever registered to me anyway.
There we go.
Fat Jack.
And people say they got on the car and that's how it's not true. Fat Jack in Wales. He owes you money still, doesn't he?
No, poor old Jack.
He's passed away, isn't he?
Jack never ever owed me money.
I apologise for that to his family.
Jack never, no. I bought the car off of Jack, gave him 27 grand for it. Well, putting my car in, I had an S-Class, I suppose it worked, but 12 or 4, I can't remember the things. He was mate with Irish Vince. Vince come down.
Who's Irish Vince?
Oh, Vince, we won't talk about him. I'll give him the money and my car. Vince never paid Jack. That's nothing to do with Jack. He was Jack's mate. Jack sent him that. Nothing to do with me. I paid. I got the car. I said to him, it was his wife's or his daughter's car. He said, it's in her name. It's on it. I said, leave it on the phone. I'm not worried. But you know, I ain't worried. You know, that do me. I don't want the car registered to me. And that's how it was. But I wasn't driving. That's not the car we used. I had another Merc, what was used for us going in and out of. Never used that car was seen after the robbery.
Yeah.
Day after it was seen. You know what I mean? And whether they checked it out and the people at the Welsh end told them who it come from, I'll never know. I can't believe they'd ever checked it out.
So it's very, checked it out, whether they got the information.
I don't, listen, for me to call someone a grass, it'd have to be 100% right.
Yeah, people do it too easily.
No, so if I don't know, I don't know. There's many ways they could have traced that car.
Can I just stop you there? So, as a relation of naming someone as a grass in the day, so Bertie Smalls, the word Bertie...
No doubt he was a grass, he was out of grass.
So the word Bertie comes from Bertie Smalls. He was an armed robber, a very good armed robber. And he went Supergrass on his pals, did it once. He then went Supergrass, Bertied again for the second time. And the people were saying, he's a good earner. They ended up in the dock with him, he went Bertie again. The judge turned around to him and said, you are the lowest of low. You've done this twice and you expect credence for it. Go to prison. And he sent him to prison for a very long time.
Who?
Bertie Smalls.
Who didn't?
He got a 10, didn't he, on the second?
I can't remember. I don't think Bert done it twice, but I think
He
he
did.
wrong.
He did it twice.
He went wrong in 1970. I was away in the Wandsworth. 72 he went. No one believed he would because he was again. I never liked Bert.
He was game, wasn't he?
I never liked Bert. I always was told that Bert was out of punch with a bird. I don't know whether that's true or not. So I never liked him for that reason. But he was well known. He went wrong in 1972. I was away with people, but they went, Bertie Smalls has gone wrong, made a 9-page statement or something ridiculous. I only remember him going wrong the once. I only remember, and he put everyone. But what they made a mistake with Bertie Smalls, they give him immunity. So he grasped about 7 or 8 cases. Not everyone he worked with.
He was in the dock with them now, weren't he?
Eh?
He was in the dock with them.
Who?
Bertie Smalls.
I don't know. I can't remember. I was in one. I don't remember the case. But he went grass, Supergrass. They give him immunity. Never, you know, and they've never done it since. Since after him, they went, you can't do that. You can't give a grass immunity. You know what I mean? But they done it. They used him. I only think it was once. But went wrong once. That was it. Never went wrong again. No one ever worked with him.
The reason why I say that is that I read something during my...
That's not him. I know you're mixing him up with another Supergrass from South London.
Well, the reason I say that, Kenny might be right here, but I did read a transcript from a judge who said, you're the lowest of the low, you've done this twice now. And that comes from Bertie Smalls. And that's where the saying comes from.
It might be the second time he was given evidence. He went wrong. He put about 7, 8 people away.
The first time, not the second.
Yeah, no, but don't forget, if he goes wrong, it'd be in case 1, and it'd be in case, it can all be the first time, different cases. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, either way, look, we agreed to differ here, because Kenny, I'll say, is far more knowledgeable than I will ever be. But that's where the word Bertie comes from, as far as I'm known.
That's Supergrass. It was the first Supergrass. They called him Supergrass.
So, in my book, there's a number of people named in that book. They've got an order through, very lucky to get an order because I'm challenging that at the moment. They're saying I'm endangering their life by mentioning them for what they've done to me. But there's no black order on my book. There's been no court restrictions because everything in there is in the public domain. It's been disclosed to me. It's factual. There's signatures to this from the Grasses. Fit Up and Fighting Back, you can get it on Amazon, Kevin Lane Books, and a number of other places you can get it from. However, we're talking about Grasses or people that have fitted you up. They're in there. One of them has just changed his name to McCann. So his now name is, the Grass in my case, when you read my book, is now named McCann. And he's changed that because of the information in there. But let's go back to the Hatton Garden. The Hatton Garden took, how long did it take to plan, Ken?
Bit of work. I would say we was on it 2 years.
There we go. And what the public don't realise is the old school criminals put a bit of time and effort into crime. And what they took into consideration was Leave the women and the children out of it, correct?
Yes, you're right, but in this particular case, it can only be done at a certain time of the year. Say like, well, Easter, shut for certain days. Christmas, shut for certain days. I don't know if there's any other religion in the year, but...
Bank holidays.
Well, I don't know if that's long enough. I don't know if that's long enough.
A few days,
that's long enough, because we thought we'd be in there 2 or 3 days. We didn't think we'd be in... it was planned to be in there a lot longer. So, although it takes... You can only just say Christmas and Easter. Maybe 2 bank holidays. So it's only 4 times of the year you can do it. So if you miss them, it's got to be the next one. But they're going in. They're going in. They're making the key to every door you got to go to. Taking the locks out, making the keys, everything's right. Cross the road, key to the door downstairs, key upstairs with you. A lot of work and
you want to explain a bit more about that? So
we had people going in, I say that royally, in the royal sense. I had nothing to do with it. Kenny asked me to go on that bit of work. I was coming home from prison. I
don't remember that. You keep telling me that.
So
I don't believe I fucking...
Right, so I had one. I'll tell you what happened. So I'm surprised you said that.
Not calling you a liar.
So he's 85 now. So I'll tell you what happened. He came to see me and I was home.
Oh, what? Going on a bit of work, not what it was.
No, he did tell me what it was.
Oh, well, that might be different.
That's it. I didn't say what it was.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry.
So let's just go back a bit. What Kenny said to me was, look, we've got a bit of work coming up, and that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
We need someone to get in there and get things open. You're fit. Do you want to come on it? Would that be correct?
Yeah, I could have done that.
So
I wouldn't tell you unless you... I know you're not a thief. I'm not
I'm not on the works.
Yeah, I know you're...
Yeah.
But at the time...
I shouldn't have offered it to you anyway. I should never have got you in that fucking position. I should never have offered it. I never took it.
I had someone sitting there when we see Kenny who was witness to it, and it was one of my sons. However, it was my son Tommy. He said, we'd had a bit of work already. When we got in there, they had a big James Bond door. They changed the entrance to the safe, correct?
No, that was another bit of work. That was a different bit of work.
They've now been
that was a different bit of work.
Right, but you told me that.
Yeah.
So, and you said, so what we want someone to get in there and get the boxes open. I was a lot fitter, a lot stronger there. I would have got through that bleeding hole in the wall and I'd have ripped them boxes open a lot quicker than...
Don't think you would.
No, I don't think I would. So he came to me and I said, Kenny, I've worked 20 years to prove my innocence. I'm not going to... I thank you for the offer, but I'm doing... My boy's sitting there, he's going, bloody hell, Dad, right? So that was it. He didn't tell me what Kenny was saying. He thought I said he told me about a bit of work. He hadn't told me about a bit of work. He said he's got a bit of work coming up.
Yeah, I might have done that. Yeah, I might.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I told any... I didn't tell anyone about what it was, you know what I mean?
No, nothing.
Sorry, yeah, go on.
So he didn't say that, he didn't, to reiterate, he didn't say he told me about a bit of work. He said, we've got a bit of work coming up. Would you be interested in getting in there and getting the boxes open? I said, no, thank you. I thought a very long time to prove my innocence. 20 years I thought to prove my innocence. I'm going straight home. And that was it. So.
And he didn't go straight home, he went out to see a bird.
Well, I can't say he's telling lies, but he's bang on the money.
I did go up and see a bird that night in Sevenoaks. I had a house down there that I'd rented with this young lady. Right good sort. She's in the book. I haven't got her permission to mention her name, so I won't say it, but she's in the book. Proper woman. No doubt about that.
Live O'Neill.
Live O'Neill.
Oh, no,
that woman, mate, if you got that woman behind you, every good man's got a better woman behind her, and that's that woman, so proper woman. Anyway, Kenny, so the bit of work, we got the car out of the way, we got the rest of it out of the way. So the bit of work comes up, it's on a bank holiday.
Yeah.
And the alarm.
Shut for 8 days.
The alarm, 8 days, I know, it's a long period, wasn't it?
It's a long period, yeah.
And why was that?
Don't ask me, that's just shut me.
I couldn't believe the 8 day period.
No, I can't either. I might have got that wrong somehow. I can't see why it would be 8 days. It would be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, to about 5 days. But it was long enough for us.
Yeah. And
I can't remember why it was that.
And the alarm went off?
Well,
Outside alarm.
this is what they said. They said they sent someone out to look at it. Now I'm watching it all the time. Don't forget, I'm in the house. I'm watching it. I did see one. What happened? It was raining. It was raining. So on the corner where it was a doorway with a little bit of a lid. So a lot of people walking home stood in that doorway, made a phone call, or had a fag, to get out of the rain.
Yeah.
And I see this. They nearly all stood and looked this way. But one geezer came and he's looking at the door. And I think, what's he doing? He's looking at the door. He's looking the wrong way. Everyone else turned around and did flag or spoke. But he didn't try nothing. This must have been the geezer they said that they sent down there. I don't want to say to something at the door, they ain't done nothing. I'm watching him. He didn't do nothing. Turned around, he went. This is the only person that, if it was him, if someone did go and check, I'll never know to this day if they're telling the truth or not, but if they did, it must have been him. He went.
Because he buggered off, didn't he, after?
He didn't press no buttons, and he didn't try no door, and he went. So, that must have been the geezer they sent.
Yeah.
But he didn't do nothing. What happened, they had 30 seconds from when Jonesy cuts the fucking thing to when what's name does the bell. You got to do it, and the bell rung, something rung. But not the main,
Not the main one.
not the main one. And that must have been,
And that's where the bell went off and people left and come back.
no police come, no one come.
No, but the lads, yourself and the lads, left us.
No, they're all in there, I'm out here.
Okay.
They're in there. Nothing. I ain't told them someone's looked at the door, because I don't know.
No, if we can we'll go back a bit. So when you very first went there, and you was looking to go into it, the alarm went off, which stopped.
No, not then, no.
No, not then. It's a different time.
When
So crossed wires there.
I drove the van there.
Yeah.
They all get out, put the gear in. We'd already opened the back door earlier. Take the gear in. I drive the van round and park it
And
up.
when we say the gear, we're talking about the equipment to get
Everything that was
to break
needed.
through the wall.
All the drills and all the...
So, Kenny, tell people about the wall, drilling through it. And now, can I just say that the preparation for sorry to cut across you, Ken, but the preparation for this bit of work, that they were taking off bits of concrete that you see around the country at motorways, and they think, okay, we need to sort of work out the strength of this wall and how long it would take us to get through it. So they would lift bits of concrete, take them to the yard and drill through it. So that's the type of preparation that was taken back in the day.
You know what I'm talking about? The great big bits of concrete they use on the road to stop people going through.
People, like the House of Commons. And
We practice on that, with the iron in the middle. Drilled it, 3 holes, drilled it, drilled someone. This is the only place, 2 instances, where I didn't agree with Brian.
And Brian have had this, he'd robbed this
Reader
before.
is a #1 top 8 criminal in the world. He's down with the best. That was his game. He's done it. He's done a few of these, right?
This was his second, wasn't it? Of that place.
What?
Didn't he rob this before?
No. That was the other one. That was the one who died in prison.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was him. No, he went with Brian. No, it was him.
He's dead now, yeah. I would make
Hey, Brian knew he was the governor. He was the. I wouldn't have been on this bit of work without Brian. Brian asked me. I wouldn't have went for the other 2. Brian was my mate. I drank with him for 20 years. I knew he was the top these. I was go. So Brian said, when we practiced it, drilling it, Brian said it'll take a lot longer to get through in the bank. I said, what is that, Brian? He said, well, this is built special. I said, bollocks, it's built 60 years ago. The concrete won't be the same as these fucking things in the road. Yeah. I said, it won't be. He said, it will. It'll take longer. I said, it wouldn't. But no one's going to listen to me because out of the 4 of us, it ain't my game. I ain't done a thing like this, you know what I mean? But I've common sense that the modern concrete's a lot harder than the old. Anyway, wouldn't have it. The second thing was, Brian said, and he's my mate, I worship Brian. Well, I can't say a bad word about him. Great. He pulled off of this. That was the only thing I could say I don't like. Is that, I don't
That's his
forget that.
decision.
Yeah,
That's his
I
decision.
don't want to say a bad word about him.
No, you can't.
I love him.
Yeah, I know you do. I know.
He said, it's not screwed to the wall. I said, are you fucking joke? Again, me, but I'm like that bigoted cunt.
You're not, don't say that. I'm not
no.
having that, my folks.
I said, that's
He's
got
not big-headed.
No, I said, it's got to be screwed at the wall. He went, no, it ain't. They're freestanding. Now, he's done them before. You know what I mean? I went, I can't see the sense in that. Anyway, turned out, when we went and drilled it in fucking 3 times as quick as before, so I was right then. And when we can't get it away from the wall, we drilled it out, we can't push it away, it's fixed to the fucking wall. So
Hence, had to go back and get the kit.
now, them two was always having a go at him, popping in little, I never. Now he's had them two having a go at him, and me having, you fucking, I told him that, and he pulled off of it. Whether he was got sick and tired of everyone putting the blame on him or not, I don't know, I'm sick, gutted. It's the only 2 times I disagreed with him and turned out to be right. I must have disagreed with him 20 times in the other 18 times.
You've worked with him for years, haven't you? You and him are best mates.
No, drunk. I drunk with him for 20 years.
Do you
I never
remember
worked with him.
the times you invited me to have a drink with you and him?
Ah, every Friday we had a drink.
Friday.
Had a meal. Went to a nice restaurant. Lovely. He taught me to drink. I used to drink only white wine. He got me on the red wine. He was a lot more sophisticated than me. He'd had money years.
Yeah, but that's
years before I ever fucking see
no,
it.
because I was led to believe that he'd had this place years ago.
That was the other one.
Right, you said that earlier.
It was a tyre.
Yeah, okay.
They
We'll leave
didn't
that.
tie all people up. That not
We'll leave
not
that
him.
one. We'll
That
leave
was-
that one.
What's his name? I forgot his name.
We won't
He
mention
died.
him. We won't mention him. We won't mention him.
Well, it don't matter. He's dead.
Yeah.
But he was big. He was big. I didn't know. He weren't my.
Cup of tea.
No, as a friend.
Right.
Didn't mind drunk with him, drink nice, good faith. You know, he'd done £7 million. He had the 7 million, the biggest cash robbery in the country.
Yeah.
Got nicked with Foreman and all them.
Yeah.
Got 22 years.
Yeah.
He was on the trot 17 years.
I know.
When he was with
Yeah,
us,
I know.
he'd been on the trot
I can't
17
believe that, Ken. 17 years on the trot.
17 years on the trot.
Long time,
And
mate.
the old Bill went round his house, he's with his mum, and he got a couple of his shorts. He said, what's he? He said, he's the dedicated runner, in case you run, because he's about 60. I said, yeah, I'm not going to run. But he said, he'd never been round his house, he'd never been round his mum's house. So I said, I've been living here all the time.
You're mental, isn't he?
Oh, bollocks, yeah. He went, I've been living here.
Yeah, he had
17
but you know
years.
what I mean? Yeah.
Fucking hell.
No, I remember, anyway, we won't go into that. So, the Hatton Garden robbery.
Are you on? Are we on again?
Yeah, we're on. So, we've done the drum, gone through the wall, got into the boxes, started to get into the boxes. Weren't so many boxes opened as people thought you would get.
There was 900 boxes there.
Yeah,
it was about 70.
70, wasn't it? Something
Yeah,
like that.
3, 4 of them was empty.
And let's be factor in it. People talk about what was in those boxes. No drugs. There's a lot of people who mentioned about this robbery. They weren't involved. I'll last say this, John Palmer. Yeah, nothing to do with it.
That was all bollocks about Palmer. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And there we go. This isn't rehearsed. Absolute crap. But they got to build it up. All the films that you've
We've
watched.
got Essex police coming and interview us about his murder.
Murder.
And Reader, don't forget, Reader had been nicked with him over the gold.
That's right.
So there was only a connection between Reader and him.
That's
You know what I mean? But they said that Palmer had a box in there against a certain people. I don't want to mention their name. 'cause
Rubbish.
It was all bollocks.
It's rubbish.
It was all I don't want to mention their name because get me about them. Nothing. We didn't know what boxes we was opening. We didn't have one box told to open. We would have had bundles if we knew all the right boxes to open. We'd have had a right touch. You know what I mean? But we didn't. We just, well, I'm not there. If I'd have been there, which I wanted to be, I was supposed to go over there and go in.
You're too big.
No, but
You're 17.5 stone then.
no, I know, but it's
You'd have got through that hole.
No, the original, when we planned it, they was going in first, then they was going to open the door and the rest of us was coming in.
Yeah, okay.
But that never happened. They went, waste of time. Don't forget that. That was all toffee about him, you know what I mean? That was nothing to do with it. I don't want to mention the other one. No one was. But when we was locked up in Belmarsh, Essex police come up to interview us about the murder of Goldfinger. They interviewed them three first. Funny, I was last. I said, what was it about? Because I don't know what it, first one came back and said, it's about him. What's it got to do with us? Anyway, then it went, I'm last one to go. I go and fuck off, don't fucking. If both of the other three, you know it's nothing, go and piss off. And they know. Because the media said it, they had to come down and say something. So, because the couple said to me, look, I said, he died of natural causes, I said. Because that's what they said. They said he died of natural.
Yeah,
a week later,
week later,
they put
6 bullets in
bullet
him.
holes in him. I said he died of natural causes, I read. No, didn't they? All they fucked off, didn't. They didn't bother interviewing me.
Ken, I want the public to know about. Kenny served, so you commit the crime, you serve your sentence, you come home.
I don't think it was me, and when I think about it, I think it might have been someone who looked like me.
Weren't you, Kenny?
I don't think, because I ain't got no money, there's 8 million, I've been looking for this 8 million.
Shawshank Redemption, we're all innocent. So, what goes in, they all got fined a certain figure, each, which is way over what was estimated to be robbed. From that estimation, say it was 7 million quid, that 7 million quid should have been split
I
between...
think it was 6.5, something like that. I think it was that figure.
And that figure should have been divided between every man on that job.
There was only 4 of us.
And woman.
Well, they would have got they took about 1.5 million off me, I'd have been out of it. Just say, for instance, you nicked 100 million, the ridiculous crime. You'd have got 10. I'd have took 10 every back all day long.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the up there would have listened to me, up the bar and cellar.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was shit.
And you've been at the
A lot of
game
it
for
wasn't
years.
good. Yeah, it ain't all cream.
It was shite, some of it.
Well, look, with jewellery, if you got 20 grand's worth, you can go and get maybe a quarter of the ticket. If you've got 200 grand's worth, you won't get a quarter of a fucking ticket. That's a certainty, you know what I mean? The more it goes, the less you fucking get. So you've got to either sell 10 grand at a time, all depends on how you fix. They told me that Brian Reader, who's been on
So much.
multiple
rings. Yeah, he's a citizen criminal.
He buried it, in fact. He was selling his gear over the year. He was get good money.
Later on.
Well, I know for a fact, when I was away with him, he'd done his bit of bird with Keen Oil, that gold.
The Freaks Back Bullion.
The brick. Yeah, and the murder, they got down to murder, didn't they?
Yeah,
Got
for the
them-
coppers.
They never done.
Yeah.
But he came out of that, that's where I met him in there. He came out of there, he had a diamond, I know he went to sell it up the garden to 3 or 4 people offered him 6,000 for it, 7. He didn't take, a year later he sold it for 16 grand. That's what he would, now me, I'd have took the 6, I'd have took the 6 or 7, I'd get rid of it, you know what I mean? But that's what he, so I don't know what he had buried from years before.
Can I just go back on it? I nearly lost my pattern of thought there. So, Kenny served. He got a 10. He served 7.
Oh yeah. No, I got a 10 with 25% reduction
For going guilty.
for going guilty. I got 7.5.
Maximum sentence, by the way, 10 months.
Maximum 10, yeah, that's what I didn't like.
For a bit of burglary. I would say a bit of burglary, I understand it, okay, but he did a 7, so he served his 7. He came out, they gave him another 7 for not paying the fine. But
No, I already had that. I got 7.5.
all right, I've got it after 6 months.
7.5 for the first bit.
Still big, but you know.
I think we might have got 7.5. I can't remember. A 7 or 7. No, it might have been. I can't. They had 2 7s, say. I got the. I already had the 7 before I come out. I already been sentenced to 7 for.
Yeah, further to the 7-year sentence served. That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
for
In your absence.
proceeds of crime.
That's fine.
But I appealed against it, and my date of release come up before the appeal. So they had to let me out. So I get out.
I picked you up.
That's right. I was out for 8 months, wasn't I? You took me back.
9 months.
You took me.
I'll tell you about the dinner
You
in
took-
Lancaster.
You took me back as well. So I got out for 8. I got out for 8 months. Appealed it. I knew I couldn't win, but I thought I could stay out a lot longer than I did. But
So what happened there was, folks, so the Proceeds of Crime Act, they then find you a figure that they believed was in relation to what you'd received for the crime.
somewhere
However,
around about 7 mil.
what we're saying is
Give me 7.
Yeah, so they're saying there's £7 million stolen, and they fine every individual for that crime £7 million, instead of splitting that between the individuals, which would have been
Yeah, 1 could pay 6, and 4 could pay 1, and you're out of it. But it's got to be. Everyone's in it, you know.
everyone's in it. So Kenny wouldn't have had to serve no time because he took £1.5 million off of it.
Each. I took it each.
He's still got another 7 years for that. And people always say, well, that's the way it goes. But let's hold people to account. Just because you are the criminal justice system, it doesn't mean you can bend the rules to suit you as you see fit. And what they've done there, they've got £28 million fines. Some people never got fines.
No. It was only. What?
24.
No,
If you served everyone 7,
Yeah,
it's
no,
24.
but we all got the same. We all got. It was 7 million. Well, we had to pay the 7 million between the 4 of us. It wasn't 28 million, which 7 million. If we'd have had 1.5 million each,
If.
we'd have got out. Yeah, if. My auntie had bollocks.
Yeah,
so
that's
we
right.
were-
So in the
but
meantime-
what I'm saying, it was.
If.
So in the meantime, Kenny's fine now.
Lucky word I hate most in the world is if.
If £1,500 a day interest on that fine.
Yeah, must be 9 million now.
It is over 8.
Oh, well, nice, but God, no, I just think.
So if
I can't do birds for it anyway.
You've done the bird for it.
Yeah, no, but I can't do, don't matter what it, why they don't cancel it and let me try and earn a living straight? Bit too old now, I know, but it's a joke. It's still on Jonesy, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, some
He's a lot younger.
Some people never got a complication order, though, did they?
He got it, but he didn't have pain up. He never took his house.
Yeah.
there we go. So do you know how I met Kenny? I met Kenny when I first got convicted of this murder, or placed on
Not
remand.
convicted, remanded.
Remanded. And I was placed on the same spur as Kenny, and we was in the special secure unit in HMP Belmarsh. Kenny was in there for.
Well, I don't mean I should have been in there. Well, I was
found not guilty.
I was in there.
You got found not guilty. You
Well,
got,
no, I didn't get. I've done fucking 2 years, 9 months, and won the appeal.
Yeah,
I didn't get found not guilty.
well, won the appeal.
The
yes.
funny thing is, he comes in. He's the youngest geezer in the wing, which
Yeah, in the unit.
I think I was the oldest. I was the oldest.
It's 50
about
odd
50
years,
odd,
yeah.
whatever it was. I was I remember when I went in there, they went, I see them looking at me because they thought, what's he doing in this maximum security wing? He ain't in for nothing. Like I was in for something you get about 7 years for. You don't go in there, that sort of wing, that sort of sentence. do you?
That's a
Lucky
security,
for me,
a prison within a prison.
big fat cunt in there.
You went, fuck off.
No, the big geezer in there said my dad knows him. His
Who
dad,
is that?
his dad was big fat chop from the Regency, but I forget what his name was. He said, my dad knows him. He's not, because they think he's a copper, they think you're like,
Yeah.
he said, no, he ain't a copper.
I think that was
My dad knows him, he's, anyway, I thought, fucking hell.
At that time, I was in there with, you had the Brinks mat in there, you had crime families all across the country, down from far as Bristol to Manchester to the, what are the Chinese gang people, what are they called?
Triads.
Triads in there, we had the accountant in there for that. We had a big American football player called Marcus,
Oh, yeah.
famous case.
Biggest man I've ever seen.
He was like the Green Mile. He got found guilty. He went and bought a bit of puff, him and his brother. And they've gone back to complain about the puff. So, do you know what happened from that? This is mental. I've been interviewed in this by from a podcaster in America. So, Wade.
Have you spoken to him?
No, not him, but he knew the case. So, Marcus got found guilty for murder because when they've gone back to complain about the bit of cannabis they'd bought, big American football player, fucking enormous he was, right? He used to catch mice with his feet. They were that big, in the unit, smash them dead, right? So Marcus got found guilty because when they've gone back to complain about the puff, as they were running away, the people that sold the puff shot him. His brother got shot dead and charged Marcus with the murder.
They do in America.
In America, but in different states. So Marcus came to the unit, so he was in there with him.
Yeah.
But was in there with a right
The Irish geezer done all the robberies.
Jimmy Doyle.
Jimmy Doyle.
Jimmy Doyle in a little firm. God rest your soul, Jimmy. He was a crack, Jimmy. So that day there, I turned up in the unit. But this is how I met Kenny. So I don't want to go off the track here. Kenny had a connection to me. So who was your
Solicitor. Ralph Owens, biggest solicitor in the fucking country. Ralph was representing your codeine. I go on a legal visit. I've known Ralph a long time. Done a lot of villainy with Ralph, give him money to get bail, give him money to straighten up coppers, done everything. So I said, Ralph, how come this geezer's here at double A and his codeine who you're representing is in Wandsworth or Scrubs?
Yeah, but he's been moved all around the country, really, having business.
Not in double A. And he said to me, my baby's like that, I said, I don't tell lies anyway.
You don't?
He said to me, my client's going to get off of this and he's going to get 25 years or something. I said, what? He said, so I come back on a visit.
Didn't he say the deal's already done?
No, he never said nothing like that. He just told me, he said, this is what will happen. So when I come back, I do not tell you about what he said about you. I said, I just spoke to my brief. He reckons your codeine, was that Smith or the other one?
The other one.
He said, he will be found not guilty. I didn't tell you, I never told him.
I didn't know.
I didn't tell him he's on remand because he kicked 25 fucking years. Oh, I said, he said he reckons he'd get off. I never mentioned a bit about him. He went, yeah, we're both, I said, well, your word was, yeah, we'll both walk. And I thought, well, why are you double A? He's fucking not double A. You know, at the time, he couldn't talk to him, he was knocking out screws. Anyone who said anything got bumped in the fucking mouth. Didn't they?
I laugh about it now, but yeah.
He went he's handcuffed, they take him to Scrubs or Wandsworth, I can't remember what it is.
Scrubs.
The geezer screwing Wandsworth, Scrubs,
Big
the screwing Scrubs says, you're not in Belmarsh now, as if Belmarsh is a cat D, you're in the Scrubs. And I said, he's bombed his fucking ear, broke his fucking nose.
Yeah,
He got back, he said, they're going to nick him. I said, you're nicked for fucking murder. They're going to take you for breaking someone's nose. Don't make fucking sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was threatening.
Did they do you for it?
So when they left it on fire, that screw there got done for waterboarding, not him personally, but...
Was that when they all got done in the Scrubs?
Right, there was
I remember that,
You remember that? There was a gang of them. So I went to the toilet and I was cuffed up, and this screw from the Scrubs, he was on the escort, because we had to go and pick the other fella up, the dog. And then what happened was, So the IOA boy said to me, your code's no good. I said, I don't know my code. I've met him twice. They said, well, he's up and down the country in all different prisons. That ain't right, Kevin. He should be here with you. I didn't know what was going on. It was all new to me, this carry on. So I thought no more of it. But sure enough, years later, in the book, Fitted Up and Fighting Back, police visits in different prisons, asking the police to have confidential chats. They were right. Everybody was right. Kenny was right.
I didn't say that, you.
No, but you thought in.
Oh, I don't know why he was in 2 different prisons. No, but I didn't know. I did not know he was wrong, and I didn't know. I didn't.
No.
He never said to me.
No, at the time, but he said the deal. You know,
He said he was out of it.
He was getting out of it.
He said he was walking. I thought. They told me sometimes I'd be walking and I still ended up in fucking prison. So I didn't take it as gospel.
So that this can go at the time. I've got off the bus at the Scrubs to pick it the other fucking misfit up, and what's happened was I got off the bus, got to the toilet, I'm cuffed. I'm still cuffed, and they're threatening me, saying, "Oh, we ever get you down here, Lane, we'll kill you." And I'm saying, "Well, take the cuffs off, we'll talk about it." And as you know, Kenny, he was giving me abuse all day when I'm double cuffed and all the rest of it. We got back the other gav. He's got a bit gobby in the screw. I've just fucking gone left to right. He slid down the wall asleep. I knocked a few of his teeth out. He had a few stitches, and I thought, God, they're the best punching I've ever felt in my life.
Just when you need it.
Just when I did it, I thought, fair play to you. And all that little firm, him as well, got nicked for waterboarding people.
That's right, yeah. In the
Spouts found the neck.
10 of them got done, that's right.
10 of them got a lot done. He was one of them.
Yeah.
And he was the one that was threatening me.
Yeah,
Anyway,
bullying. There was a lot of that going on.
And I remember George Shipton turned around and said, "What are you bullying for? He's not an idiot. He's not an idiot. Just 'cause he looks young and like a college boy, don't be bullying him." And then, sure enough,
How old was you?
27.
Oh, was you 27? I thought you looked younger. You look like young.
Thanks very much, Kenny.
Still does.
Still does, eh?
But yeah.
Hold on a minute.
And then he was a bit volatile. Then he wouldn't take it from anyone. You had to go that big bloke. What?
Yeah.
You said to him,
Johnny
"Get
Lawson.
up." What's his name? Lawson.
Johnny
He said,
Lawson got nicked.
"Get
Yeah,
up."
6
He
foot 6
wouldn't-
or 7.
He wouldn't get up. Excuse you, 6'6". He wasn't little, was he?
No, big bloke.
He said, "Get up." He wouldn't get up. He was.
I'll tell you what happened was, so I was on the phone to my mum. I don't,
Oh
really
yeah,
care.
what happened? I
I don't
don't know.
really care about Johnny Lawson because I don't think.
No, he was a cunt. I bashed him.
Yeah, Johnny White. So I'm going to tell you, I don't see this geezer as
No, he's
of
just a big
decent.
talking.
I just didn't like John.
Yeah, he's
And
all
he
right.
goes to me, "Get off that phone. Talk to me like a young boy." I was on the phone to my mum at the time. I said,
You
"Mum,
was a young boy.
I said, Mum, yeah, no, but like an idiot." I said, "Mum, I've got to
Oh.
go. Got to go." So in the meantime, they were cool. So I hadn't seen him
Yeah,
now
him
for
and
a
his
while.
yeah.
So what's happened was, the first opportunity I get to see him, we're open. I've gone up to him and go, "Stand up. I'm not going to eat you while you're sitting down."
I think he was sitting next to me. I was there anyway. I was there when you said it. I mean,
And he goes, "Leave it out, it's my
he
birthday."
wouldn't get up. He wouldn't stand up.
So he had a codeine there and all.
And
Right.
he was 6'6". He's
Yeah,
codeine,
Cody
wasn't
was 6'4", big lump, something
he?
like
No, but he was not a bad kid. The
No,
other
Wayne
kid.
was good. I was best
it was
man at his
all right.
wedding in Whitehall. Well, I come out of the unit, he goes, "Kevin, you've been my best man." I got, "No problem, he's got married in prison." So, all right, anyway, I was his marriage. Wayne was a clever fellow and all. Kenny give him a few quid, right?
And it was 3 grand to scope.
5 grand.
Was it?
There's
Oh,
5 grand, Kenny.
It was because of money.
Kenny gave him 5 grand for some information. I'm not saying it was corrupt information, but it was information. He never got the information.
That's all bollocks.
And I all bollocks with it. And I said to Kenny, "He's done what?" I said, "I'm fucking going there and see him." He's gone, "I'm fucking going there and see him." He's only, I shouldn't be swearing, so he's gone in there with, he's gone in there, he's gone, "I'll go," and he wrapped the geezer up and had a row with him and come out. Your foot though, didn't you?
What happened? This kid, he's 6'6". They're all suited. You know when you get suited to boot to go to court? I've got the flip-flops on.
Flip-flops, yeah.
So I walk with his shoulder with him, 6'6", he stands on my toe. Accidentally. He hurt me more. Oh, bang, I hit him on the chin, knocked him down onto the bed. Oh, I hit him back. I fucking hurt my toe. The screws rushing.
Yeah.
I'm backing.
No, I don't think the screws did rush in. I think it came
No,
out.
the screws sent me up with me, "Oh, please."
Yeah,
When I
waved
please
it.
you done it, I thought, I'm the oldest geezer in the wing. He's the tallest geezer in the wing. But he had shoes, and on my, you know what, shoes on my toe, on my flip-flop. He hurt me more than I hurt fucking him, but he felt hurt more than him. What an horrible person he was. They both escaped. This day, when I'm talking about, that day they both escaped out of the van.
Look at the camera, kid.
Both climbed out the roof. He got caught 200 yards down the road, the other one was away for about 2-3 years.
Wayne, a right good screw. He's dead now, God rest his soul. Wayne Deadman, a right prepper.
Who's that, Mr. Cody?
No, Wayne Deadman was a screw, right?
Oh.
And he was a PTI in Whitemore, Belmarsh, but he's one of the proper, you know, thank God for him. And many like him, many like him. So Wayne was a lump, by no fault. He weren't no fighting the bleeding young fella anyway. But he's dead now, and I wish all of his family the utmost respect for such a decent prison officer. And Wayne was one of them, so was George Shipton and a few others. And thank God for the good of the job, because there'd be terrible places if they weren't decent people in there.
Who was the kids we met in the railway station? Screw you. He's a screw, yeah? Yeah, I'm with him. He's a screw in my neck. I thought, oh!
No, but what happened was, before that, we were talking about, I said, I remember one landing in Franklin, and
Franklin.
I was marching the cell back and forward, and I was ready for the row. Anyway, I was at that stage of my life, I was thinking, in that stage of my life.
Your nutty stage.
I was at nutty.
What I call your nutty stage.
Yeah, so I was thinking, well, I'm going to have a row of a load of screws now, so I've just let them, I'm going to have it with this lot. And then this little Billy Swoosh come in, and he's gone, all right, Kevin, he said, Billy, pleased to meet you. I looked around, he's on his own. I thought, oh, this is a bit different. He's gone, we're going to take
Must be a karate champion.
I thought, fucking hell, like, yeah. Then I thought, well, it took me aback. I thought, where's the mufti? Where's the riot squad? Because I'll be fighting.
Yeah.
I'm used to fighting with you. Where are you? He's gone, no, Kevin, all right, lad. Cup of tea, blah, blah, blah. I went, yeah, lovely. He's gone, we're taking you down to, we're taking you up to the wing, or where it was a reception. He's gone, I'm taking you. I said, what, on your own? He's gone, yeah, come on, lad. On your own, I had an Alsatian and a screw and all the rest of it to march me where I was going. And that was Billy. So I'm telling Kenny about this story about Billy. I said, fucking lovely fella, right nice geezer. We was in Liverpool Street in the gaff there.
The pub.
We've only looked over. He's there, due with his family. Come to see Newcastle play fucking football.
West Ham.
West Ham. West Ham. Next thing you know, he's over at the table, and his wife's gone, oh my God, she said, so how come you know Billy? I said, I was a prisoner in Franklin. She goes, she went all quiet, she looked at me, she goes, I thought you was old friends the way you see each other.
Well, me, you know. He says, here's a screw, you know, I went, oh.
Yeah, he wouldn't talk to me, but
It's going to be off here. It's going to be off here. No, he said, he was a nice.
I had a drink, his daughter, boyfriend.
It was a lovely.
Lovely fella.
And I don't say that about, but
no,
it was.
Kenny's from the old school where you don't talk to screws.
No,
blah,
yeah,
blah, blah.
no.
And
Yeah.
you've changed over the years.
No, what is, you got to remember, they was horrible. Years ago when I went to prison, they'd all been in the war. There was all soldiers that had been in the war, been in the Second World War, they'd seen terrible things and whatever they thought of criminals was up to them. If I thought in the world for cunts like me, I would have bashed me up. I didn't understand that at that age, obviously, but they was horrible people. They had a licence to kill you and bash you up and do everything. Today, they are 100% different, I do agree, but I still won't accept it. All the bird I've ever done, I've never spoke to them. But, good morning, hello. I've never had nothing friendly. They tried to talk to me, went, you knew the twins and all, you know, I went, look, no disrespect, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's best.
But that was
I've got the wrong.
Yeah.
Today's they're not nothing like that, but they're still. Listen, as friendly and as good as they are, if there's 6 of them against, if you've done something wrong, they're going to come in and smash. They've got.
Smash them alive.
No matter how good they are, you do something wrong, they're going to fucking hurt you. So I never forgot it. They really hurt me, and didn't nearly kill me, but they fucking hurt. It hurt me so much I've never forgot it in all them fucking years, right? I built a bomb. Two fucking big worst fucking, but they're different.
So, folks,
And they got the licence to do it.
License to do it, license to
And they will lie if a screw says you done that, and they ask another screw, he ain't going to take your side against them. Same as the police, same as anyone really, same as us.
yeah,
really.
same as us,
Same
we
as
stick
us.
together.
They're going to stick by their own.
So what Kenny's just said there, very quickly, we're going to finish on this note. George Shipton, he stood his ground. He said he's been threatening them all day. He said, I told him to leave him alone. He ain't left him alone. The cuffs have come off. Kevin's put him to sleep.
Was the cuffs off when you hit him?
Oh, of course they come off.
Oh, I didn't know with the cuffs on.
No, I'll do
I
it.
wondered how you done that.
So, I was getting a strip search. I was getting strip searched, top off, all the rest of it. I stood there, bonnet naked. I thought, right, and I took his socks off, and this screw says to me, "Show me the soles of your feet." I said, "I'm not a performing clown, and I won't suffer your whatever." And he's gone, "That's all right, we like bars." I went, crash, wallop. He fell down the wall. So after that, 8 screws surrounded George Shipton and said, "We want to make a false statement against Kevin." He said, "I ain't doing it." I went in front of a government.
They wouldn't agree with it.
George wouldn't make a false statement against me. So I went in front of a governor, polished my shoes, first nickel I've ever
I
done.
told you about that.
Polishing my shoes, I polished my shoes. Well, I don't give a monkey's. I'm presenting myself. This is an official meeting. I'm presenting myself in front of. I was in the block in the special security unit. I got in front of him, and George has come in. He's given. I didn't know George, and I'd met him before in my life. He was the first screw that I met in the unit, and he came and said, "Did shake me." He's gone, "All right, mate." Well, he did. I think he did shake me hand. I'm not sure actually. I don't think he did shake me. He's come in. He's gone. "No, he didn't shake me hand." He's come in. He's gone. All right, he said, "I can give you everything you're entitled to. I can't give you nothing you ain't entitled to, but I'll make sure you get it. I'll make sure you get a phone call with your mum. I went, "Thank you very much." Can't go wrong with that, can you, right? I got the phone call, got everything I was entitled to. But he wouldn't make a statement against me for something I hadn't done. And I got charged with deviation of intent, malicious wounding, for the injuries that he had. I only hit him twice. And then, I'll say that, I'm chuffed at that. And then, not chuffed that I caused him injuries, but chuffed at the best punches in my book for
You
geezer
chuffed
threatening.
when you caused him injuries.
Yeah.
Don't fucking try
Yeah.
and colour it.
Threatening me.
Don't jump with
Threatening me all day, look,
Yeah,
when I
of
got
course,
cuffs on, I
naturally.
thought, you
I'd have been
arsehole.
over the moon.
Come here, like, you're going to get it. So anyway, I got 3 days, I was in the block for 3 days before I went in the governor. Might have been the second day, I'm not quite sure now, because of the time span of nickings and that. And then, might have been 2 days, yeah. And then, he gave me 28 days CC on the spur in the unit, behind the door, Kenny. Full touch, straight behind the door. And that was George Shipton, God rest you. So folks, I'm going to finish here. And I'd just like to thank everybody for your views, but just remember this, crime don't pay. It pays in many ways, but long term, it does pay for a lot of people. In the earlier days, back in Kenny's era, it don't pay no more, because the criminal justice system's evolved into a way now where you will go to prison, they will take everything off of you, and you will be kept from your loved ones. What is the path you would like to take? Go and get a few quid straight, go on nice holidays, and be with your loved ones and your children. That's the one I recommend you go on, not the one that me and Kenny have been on. God bless. I'd like to thank Kenny.
Yeah, I don't recommend that though.
Shake me hand, Ken.
I recommend the opposite. I don't recommend
He
that.
recommends the opposite. Don't
There's
shake
still
me hand.
money to be got, don't worry about that.
But I don't.
Keep trying.
Keep trying.
Keep trying.
That's his mentality. I say go and get a few quid straight.
No, there's so many ways to make money. Copying stuff, printing gear, driving licenses, post. There's so many ways to get
Right. Edit that.
No, go to work. And I also thank Christian KRN TV for that. Absolutely excellent. Thank you very much. Any comments? Obviously, let me have them in the box, and I'll get a reply to you. Good luck and best of health.